Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Yes, good afternoon and welcome to this edition once again of the Wake Up Guyana Show. I'm your host, Leonard Gildarie, and we are on Monday, September the 21st, 2021. So I want to say good day to all our beautiful country across this country of ours. We have you joining us from whether it is in Demerara, Berbice, or Essequibo, of course, overseas, wherever you are tuning in from, whether it's the United States, whether it's Canada. We are running a little late today. That's because of traffic on the road. Although not as busy today, there is some issues. Our apologies. Our boys working very hard in the studio. There are many things to tell you today. The budget passage in the National Assembly that is continuing this week. They're hoping to have this matter finished, over with, and have it signed off before the end of the month so we can move on with the emergency budget, spending up the money, 300 something billion dollars there. You would remember that it was the government that says they went in and they saw more than $150 billion already spent by time August the 2nd, when Irfan Ali would have been sworn in as the president of Guyana. So they are gathered at the Ocean View Convention Center there. Sorry, not the Ocean View, the Chunk Convention Center there. My apologies. I'm not sure why I'm thinking that. And they are continuing to look at the estimates and expenditure. It's being examined at the moment, and so there's some interesting things coming out there this morning. There was talks about the printing of I think 150,000 birth certificates, application forms, and the questionable nature in which it went to a Florida company, very questionable. Never had a track record when it was done all the time in Guyana. So that is one there. And of course, in the meantime, while we're looking at that, we are going to talk. I think I did send Raj the copy. We are going to play something in a very short while when I tell him when, about somebody complaining about the water bill, and there's a lot of frustration. I want you to hear that because when I heard it, it did strike a chord in me today. So that's something that I want to share with you guys in a very short while. And then, of course, we have yesterday more than 100 cases recorded in COVID-19. It's continued to climb. And I want to be discussing that with you because the U.S. is touching 200,000 deaths. If it has not already gone past that, they have over 6.8 million cases across the world. We have over 31 million cases, almost 961,000 deaths. So this situation is not looking good. we are going to be touching 70 deaths in a very short while in Guyana. And, we have parties all around the place. Business as usual. It seems for many folks, they're not paying attention, and the death rate is climbing. So we are going to be telling you that. But let's go very quickly into the front page of the Kaieteur News. For the last 2 days, we did not reach on this weekend here, but there was a number of big stories that you should know in your favorite newspaper, Guyana's largest selling daily newspaper. And this is the Kaieteur News of September the 20th, this Sunday, the edition. 2 inmates dead, ministers pelted in the Lusignan disturbances, 120 tests positive for COVID-19. And this is inmates, we understand, in the prison system, 120. We have over 1,000 inmates, so you're talking more than a tenth of the prison population would be testing positive. This is extremely deeply worrying there. And 2 ministers went to the prison Saturday after they would have wanted to talk to these are the inmates of the Lusignan prison there on the east coast of Demerara, wanted to talk to Minister Robertson Ben, and the talks broke down and started pelting the minister in the ensuing situation that came there. 2 inmates were shot dead or ended up dead, and a number of them in the hospital for allegedly trying to break open the gate at the Lusignan prison. It would have been chaos there had that happened, but unfortunately we have 2 deaths, and this is something that we need to have maybe an inquiry in, because we are in charge of our inmates. They are human beings at the end of the day, so we need to have an idea at what point in time and how did they get the barge gate? Were they not under the control of the prison authorities there? So enter bilateral arrangements, agreements with extreme caution. Guyana should avoid pitfalls and pain suffered by TT. And this is a story that we've been hearing about. Pay attention to what other oil countries, oil and gas countries would have suffered, and learn from those mistakes, because lots of mistakes would have been made. And this is coming from energy strategists. This would have been coming from energy strategist Trinidadian Anthony Paul, and he's also an advisor on the Guyana oil and gas sector. Patterson, this is David Patterson, former public infrastructure minister under the coalition government, RAP's government, Exxon on environmental damage. This is a very strange thing, because there were a lot of loopholes within that particular agreement that we have with Exxon, and I'm not sure whether enough was not done to harness the situation here. But Exxon is flaring up there, and nobody's paying attention to what is happening. And so in a very short while, I'm trying to get the NIS folks on here right now. They did indicate they are going to come on for 1 o'clock. I'm going to ask Raj to stand by with that. But also this afternoon, the president and the Chinese ambassador are headed to the airport to check out that $150 million project. We know it's more than 10 years, but supposed to be less than a 2 years contract or a project. Has ended up 10 years now. What a shame. This same company, this Chinese company, and we're not bashing on Chinese, we're just stating a matter of fact. This company came in here, agreed, in fact, made a proposal for a contract to build this airport here. A very beautiful proposal. Guyana accepted it. Guyana was able to get a loan. They said, this is what we're going to build. We're going to give you a new runway, a new terminal building. We're going to give you a whole bunch of other stuff, including flat screen televisions and so on to monitor, and an entire new terminal building that would have had several levels, all shiny with glass roof and so on. Guess what happened? 10 years finished. What we had instead is that this same company here come in with a lot of concessions, was only able to build a terminal building that, they didn't build it. What they do is renovate the old one. Then they had problems with the runway because somebody did not do, they were supposed to have this runway that was supposed to accommodate bigger wide-body jets or airplanes. And so they were working on the northern side, then realized that the place is too swampy there. They decided to go to the southern end. By the time Guyana kept itself, this company started running into all kinds of problems. So we are forced to pay a loan. It's 10 years down the line. The airport is not finished. It's in bad condition at the moment. In fact, they decided to put 4 air bridges, passenger bridges, and the foundation which these bridges were standing on collapsed, or it would have been problems. So they had to stop using it. You would recall that Mike Pompeo, the Secretary of State, came last week. He had to disembark from the plane onto the airport strip. What a shame. And so this company here is the same company that was handed contracts working on the Movietong project and now working on the Pegasus expansion there. And they're doing fine, so it means that somebody was not paying attention. What a shame. So US $150 million counting, additional $6.5 million needed to complete CGI, Minister One Edgel. So we're asking for more money on top of this $150 million. This is beyond ridiculous. And this company here now, we understand, is being given a contract now to do mining in Guyana. A company that came to do construction on the airport can't finish it, given lots of concessions for equipment and whatever it is that they need to bring in here. Is going to go do mining in the hinterlands right now. You know, I'm not sure whether we own our country or somebody else own it, but we need to take it back. And we need to be a little more aggressive on what is happening in this country to ensure that we're not taken advantage of. I'm not sure whether I'm stepping overboard here, but as a taxpayer, as a citizen of this country, this is rubbing me real wrong. So this afternoon, President here, Finale and the Chinese ambassador are heading to the airport. It's a Chinese constructed project to check out what is happening. I presume the president is going to put down his foot on this project. It is I think he was the representative that was sitting on the PPP government leading up to 2015 for this on the airport there. So he would be paying very close attention on what is happening. Guyana need that airport up and running. APNU FC broke record for the most constitutional breaches in the Caribbean. Attorney General Anand Lal. And this is all coming out from the national debate, the national debate on the budget that is happening right now, the emergency budget. Over 100 HIV test samples, some babies left in lab for over a year. And this is a big issue too, because how could we have, one other thing before I move on, are our lines working again? Yes, I think so. So 100 HIV test samples, some babies left in lab for over a year, Minister Anthony. So imagine that there's a program that if a mother is HIV and you're in the hospital or you give birth, they're supposed to take the samples from the baby, this HIV test samples, and do the test to see if the baby is positive or so. We have it sitting in the lab for 1 year. You imagine that? How do you do that? How do these people manage? I don't understand that. This is beyond ridiculous. Somebody was not managing. New owner of AGM ditches local contractors, applies to bring in hundreds of Chinese workers, sources. And so here it is that you have a company, a Chinese company, came in, bought over this Guyana's biggest gold mine called the Goldfields, Guyana Goldfields Inc. This is a Canadian company that would have started the Aurora Gold Mines project there in Region 7 in the Kaieteur. And they ran into problems and decided to find a new buyer, so they found a Chinese buyer. And this Chinese buyer came in, and the first thing that happened, or by the time they came here, the contractor's no longer there. There's an application, I understand, that we understand, that was made to the government to bring in over 200 workers, Chinese workers. And in the meantime, the local contractors who was working with that Canadian company has been sent home, and they haven't returned back to work. And the company was about to hire China Harbor, same company that is building the airport project. So this is not good enough. I hope that this company here, this Chinese company here, is going to say the right thing, because whatever it is happening. You have two projects here, the airport project and now this project here, which is a private run project. that is under the scrutiny right now. And so, of course, gruesome murder of Barbie's teens, cousins, 5 now in custody. So this matter seemed to be going from one end to another end. It looks as if it's definitely that the boys were murdered somewhere else and then dropped there. And if you do that, and you took the time out to do that, it meant that you want to project a certain conclusion. And what is the conclusion? That the boys were murdered there. And why would you want the boys to murder there? Maybe to point to the owners of the land. So what happened at the end of the day? We had big confusion, big protests in Berbice. 2 people killed, several persons beaten badly, vehicles burnt, and for days no traffic could have gone to Berbice because Guyana was held hostage by a couple of robbers, by a couple of criminal elements who overtook what should have been a simple protest to call for justice. So we had the criminals who put that, and maybe backed by some politicians there as well, because we did hear reports of that. And so the front page of Kaieteur News today. Key oversight mechanisms not in place for oil money. This is a recipe for disaster. Industry expert. So we not getting there. We're not getting this thing right with the oil, and so we need to. The government is new, but you have to keep them on the toes. We have to make sure that they understand this is serious business. It's a lot of oil out there. We have to get a better deal, and we have to ensure that the management of ExxonMobil and the other companies that come here is paramount, and we must be able to control what they're doing, not them controlling us. It's our oil, not theirs. Let's get it right. Special audit being conducted into millions spent on private lawyers by APNO AFC. Not a shocking case. I mean, you have to hire lawyers, but how do you do it? Is there a procurement procedure, or do you just pick up the phone and says, "Look, guys, I'm going to pay you $2 billion this year here, and I want to choose Raj, Gildarie, and Glenlal." So a good day to you, Mr. Glenlal, our publisher of Kaieteur newspaper, as well as the owner, one of the owners of Kaieteur Radio. And so I want to say good day to all the folks downstairs in the newsroom of Kaieteur News, working hard, looking at budget, looking at so many other things. Today, grade 6 results is going to be out. A lot of kids who are going to be nervous, but whatever it is that you get, it's just a phase that you're now passing through. It's not the end of the world. I must encourage you to pick up yourselves, improve, keep improving. We may fall today, but it's how well you get up that counts. So do not put pressure on the little kids, mom and dad. Let them understand that there's an opportunity to do better. And so it's just a transition from primary school into the secondary school. So the grade 6 students, I want to say best of luck. When you check your results, I hope that you would be satisfied with what you have, but do not allow it to stand there, but make sure that you continue to improve. Sleep and driver wakes up after killing pedal cyclists. How do you sleep? Are you drinking, or did you work long? You got to be very careful about this. Rosal Estates begins rehiring process over 400 severed workers registered. Assessment of factory complete. So this is a little good news in one way, that you have happened to have workers going back. But have we opened estate for a losing cause, or as there? What is it going to cost us to run this estate in a losing manner? Without trying to have an assessment that's being done. We need to have that assessment that's on here. And in the meantime, EITI to pursue full disclosures of beneficiaries of the extractive deal says political will is necessary. Quarantine, years later, with hundreds of $millions spent, several schools still incomplete. And this is a Kaieteur newspaper in front now today. It says Minister Manik Chan. So we paid millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. And one case, there's a $214 million advance of BK. Oh my God, BK again in the news for Yarracabas Secondary. And there's a $60 million advance of Courtney Bay. And so we advance in these millions of dollars, and these contractors not giving their end of the bargain. And so why would you sign a contract and not have a clause that would allow you to have some kind of recourse? I don't understand. And so when you hear that and see a man be in jail for 2 grams of ganja, 8 grams of ganja, you then realize there is and I'm going to get in trouble for this. There is a law for the rich and there's a law for the poor. We got to get serious. When you spend taxpayers' money in this country, you got to make sure that there is value for the money. Make sure that if you say that if you build a building, we scrape and we borrow from the bank and we do all kinds of things in order to be able to be eligible for that mortgage. And we scrape and pay for 20 years, that couple $1 million there. But you have a couple contractors come in and take millions of dollars. Some of them don't pay. Not some of them. Let me rephrase that. All of them. All of them not paying the right taxes. There got to be some way that they're screwing the system. So at the end of the day, we got to be very, very careful. We got to be very, very careful in how we are spending the taxpayers' money, how it is that we taking money and we're not getting value for the money at the end of the day, because that money could be put into something else that could benefit the poor people of this country. We need to benefit our people. We need to ensure that the monies that are being paid by the taxpayers, that it falls, that we see structures, we see schools, we see health centers, we see hospital, and these things cannot be worth $1 billion when we know it's worth $100 million. We got to be very careful about that. So there was a sad case I saw over the weekend here. There was a killing of mom died from Guyana here, from Blackbush Boulder place, and I know the family very well. She went out there to fish with her husband on the waters there in St. Martin. A wave knocked her off the rocks, and we have the high tide at the moment, the spring tide, and hit her into the water. The husband tried to go into the water, and he almost lost it too. And so this is a very sad case. You guys got to be very, very careful. Let us try to protect ourselves. It is not good. So I want to say a good day to our good president and the other folks that are going to be doing whatever it is that they do today. The president would have been addressing this morning in his maiden address to the United Nations. He made that first address as a president of Guyana, and that's Dr. Irfan Ali. And so we are going to be bringing you some excerpts of that. So what he says, but one of the things he says, years after we would have had the United Nations come up, and one of the things that they're dealing with is the poverty level. So we deal with the poverty level, and yet we have so much poverty. And then, of course, they would be addressing the pandemic. And the pandemic is something that the entire world, you would see the World Bank report that came out recently. It says more than a decade of work has been threatened by the pandemic. It's been threatened to be wiped out by the pandemic. So these are big things that we're looking at here today. Raj, do we have that tape of that woman wound up? Could we get it? This is a lady. This is a woman that went this morning or a couple of days or a day or so back to take to social media to complain about what the GWI handed her a bill. And she is expressing her frustration because, these are little things that affect you. It's time to wake up, Guyana, by hearing what one citizen says. So go right ahead, dear Raj.
Let's talk about lakes. A lake is a large body of water surrounded by land. Most lakes contain fresh water, but some are salty. Lakes are usually found in high areas.
The rest of money to pay the rest of bill. Every month they must send 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 and give me. My name Champawati Saran. And I must send this bill and I must give me every time. And we don't have the money for pay, and sometimes the family have to send money from America and give me to pay. My friends them in the market just lend me money for pay the bills. And every time we go in, they must send 10,000 and tell them that how me burn all this bill. Them said something wrong. And they must send it to me meter. Me tell them let them come and check the meter. When they come, they bring 21,000 more and give me again. Me get all my bill for me proof. When me go in and then ask them for the money, let them see in the computer and say that is the money when me born, me have to pay. Every time when me go find all the money for pay, who me go and borrow from steady for pay. Let them come and disconnect me meter and I don't want no meter anymore. And let us see what I'm going to do with it. Because I'm going to pay me very poor. And me get enough home give me again. Me get all my bill from my parents for mine in the home. And me that open but just to use water morning. In the afternoon is used back. When you see me, me say my sell in the market. When me come home afternoon, then me use back water. I cut in half morning and I use back afternoon. I don't have a car wash. Because I'm going to pay me very poor. Plus I don't have a business. And I don't know how all the bill come in. And every time I tell them about the bill, them say that the bill me have to pay. They have to pay it. And let Guyanese see and the government in this country see what Guyanese people reach in this country. For know what's going on. The ones that are suffering people to pay all this bill. I don't have a car. That's it all me get to tell you and let them see what's going on in this country. And I don't know how all. And let us share the news to people and give them.
So it's a little long, and then you would have heard a couple of things here. So uh, that's a lady complaining with GWI there. She had a $21,000 bill, and she says she keep going in and said, you have to pay, regardless what happened, you have to pay. At the end of the day, this is GWI, and there you have a woman complaining. 5 children, she says, and she doesn't know where she doesn't run a car wash or whatever it is. Who burns $21,000 as a small family? I'm not sure what it is that you're doing there. So that is what is happening. In the meantime, I know that a lot of persons are tuning in on cricket. It is the IPL has started there, and so somebody asked him to bring Mahendra Ramkelwani onto the show. We probably have to bring him. We also have spoken to Poonam Singh. I want to say good day to that young lady there. We would have brought on a couple weeks back Jackie Jacks, and so we are going to bring her back again onto the show here. So I want to say a good day to all across Guyana, wherever you're joining us from Berbice, Demerara, Essequibo, and of course right across the Caribbean and the US and Canada and Europe. So before we get into, I think we are going to go to the callers in a very short while. We did ask NIS today to come on. I'm not sure if she's standing by to come, but I know that they're very busy. Every day I'm asking them. I've asked them to provide me with a number, and it's so difficult to get onto the NIS there today. You guys got to make yourself available. A lot of people are complaining about the NIS situation there. And so we are going to continue to bring you online as to what they're saying there. I want to say a good day to the people down in Essequibo, especially. I know you guys are celebrating. I'm seeing it's still the Amerindian month, and there's a lot of pride with what is happening here with our situation with the indigenous people and their celebrations in Guyana. I want to say a good day to the body areas, to Captain Orlando Charles, wherever you're joining us from. I know that you guys are working, and we understand that it was indicated to us that the Ettering Bang airstrip is going to be closed from tomorrow until the 28th. That's because there's some emergency work being done to that airstrip there. The Ettering Bang airstrip, it is with the border with Venezuela there, and so we are gonna. I think they asked me to read this for them. So in the meantime, I am gonna ask Raj also to get our lines ready. 6222222. We need to get that phone, Raj, and of course, I want you to call us 226-7453. I don't want to be talking too much today. I should be listening to you guys complaining, and of course, today. I did indicate to you that I did ask, and they agreed. The NIS, it looks as if they've broken our hearts today, and they've ditched us. They had a good date with us today. I've been asking them to provide a number so we could get these complaints from NIS to them. I would ask you guys to forward it, especially for this program, to them. And so you won't have to, you could be able to have a direct contact line into them there to be able to fix some of those issues. Many persons are complaining to me. I've been receiving calls that they have applied, they've reached the age of the pensionable age, and they have applied, and for several months now, nobody looking at them. In addition to that, there's many outstanding matters on appeal that the NIS is not looking out for. So we need to get ourselves in order here and do it very, very quickly. Let me read before we go to the lines. Raj is going to indicate to me when we're going to have some calls. So today, hello there, my good friend Gildarie. How are you on this Monday afternoon? I would like to know if Gilbacker is still allowed to be exported to America. And I will also like to know if the government, your government in power, would be spending $5 million on the Venezuelan refugees, or be spending with all the civic in the Palm Court. I'm not sure. Please advise. Thanks. Well, I don't work with government. I can't tell you how it is, whether they go to Palm Court or so. What I could tell you is that this issue of the gillbacker, and it's known as a catfish, is the U.S. would have banned or restricted the exports from Guyana and a couple of other places to their country because they had some worry over it. So what they are doing now is talking to the government to see whether they could have a restriction being lifted on this. And this would have come up during the recent visit with Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State of the U.S., who came to Guyana last week as part of a Couple Nations tour. So I can't tell you how they're going to spend it. I know that the U.S. has given it to be spent on the Venezuelan refugees living in Guyana to assist them. And so that is, I hope that answers the question. Let me see. The next one, my name is, okay. This is a good gentleman, Jason Singh. Thank you very much, dear. I'm an IT professional who would like to donate laptops to your program. I have some in Guyana and some more with me in the States. Please let me know if you're interested. I would love to help contribute something. Thank you very much. And this weekend I have some good news to tell you guys, which is that I was able to talk to a couple of businesses, and they have come on board right away. Two of them say right away. I've been reaching out to a couple of others, so I think we headed in the right direction. I know another businessman was trying to call me in a short while there, so I think we could be able to get 1, 2, 3, about 30 maybe of those tablets in a very short while. We probably have to ask somebody to bring it into the country, but this is good day. Jason Singh, I'm going to get on to you in a very short while. Thank you very much, my brother. I think a lot of people are looking out for some kind of help. I'm supposed to speak to Minister Priyamanik Chan as well about whether there's any laptops or any kind of help that we could probably get from them too. Good afternoon. Good work. Keep it up. My problem is about online schoolwork. If we don't get the net, that means our children will not learn. Anyway, I went to ask my neighbor to ask for a password for the internet, and my son said I had to sleep with him. Then he would give it. I can't believe this. I'm really sorry if he had to go through that. And let me read this back about how some neighbors, and this is according to one of our viewers, listeners. A neighbor went to ask the other neighbor for the use of the internet for the son, and the neighbor's son says that this neighbor must sleep with him, and only then would he give it. Please don't say my name. And this is really, really sad. I'm really, really saddened about this entire thing from Chesney new scheme. So I'm really, really sad if somebody did this. This is I can't forgive this if this indeed had happened, and I have no reason to disbelieve this person here. This person is asking if the laptop is free. Yes, whatever we do on this program, if it's a part of the initiative, we are going to do some, we are going to make sure that we have the families that are the most vulnerable. If you already have a laptop and another family does not have any kind of device, whether it's phone or otherwise, that family without any is going to be the priority. I'm really, really sorry. There's only way that I know I could do it. Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. I'm asking if you could please highlight the water situation. I live in Parfait Harmony. The water is terrible here. It's hardly coming from the tap, and when it does, it stinks. So this is Parfait Harmony now, and I am going to send this to the minister as well. I think maybe he's going to get a little worried about the way that I torment him, but that's okay. That's what he's there for. whoever government is empowered to make law to protect their family and their home by doing whatever necessary from people to invade their family, even by killing them, not to enter by force in their premises. Now, let me tell you, bandits will enter my premises and do what they want, beat your family, chop them, rob them, sexually assault them, even rape your family. And if you kill them, we will get charged and go to jail. Our yard is like our country. We should do whatever necessary to protect it by fighting for our own in our own home, even killing the bandits. I hope President Ali can change this law. Look what people is going through. I'm so angry, my brother. Look how they chopped that man and beat his wife and kid in Umbrella. It's like those people. It's like those people rob the bandit. I want to agree with you, but if I find it, and let me say it, if I find you in my yard, in my fence yard, if your yard is fenced, and you find a man in your yard, and you believe he's a threat to you, you'd have to protect yourself. You read between the lines. I'm not saying for you to go murder anybody. I'm saying that you have a right to protect yourselves and your property. Because if you find them in the yard, then they would have to have an explanation. How did they enter the yard? If the gate is locked, it means that you'd have to either jump over the gate or you jump over the fence. And if you came into the yard and you did that, then means you don't have any good intentions. You have a right to protect yourself. You don't bother with that. So I think that story comes out and you protect yourself. Don't think anybody is going to be mad with you. So this is the Wake Up Guyana show. I'm your host, Leonard Gildarie. I want to say good day to the folks down in New Jersey and Florida, wherever you're joining us from. Mr. Kaieteur Prasad, one of Guyana's best dental technicians here. If you want some good services, you go to Peter's All there, and he has senior citizens, students. I think he has some special rates there. So I want to say good day to Mr. Kaieteur Prasad, who's always been very helpful to the people of Guyana. I want to say a good day to the folks down in Upper New York, especially in the Jamaica area there. I know several persons have been tuned in on us on a daily basis. They've been sending us many encouragement. They've been asking us to, continue doing what we're doing. And of course, who could forget our good people down in the Starbuck market, our hardworking vendors. Who could forget also, Raj? Yes. So who could forget our hardworking vendors at Starbuck Market, at the Border Market? And so this almost becomes like not a talk show anymore. It becomes like a family thing now. Raj comes like, could you read this to me now? So better value for better protection. Get your ship and cargo covered with us today. CARICOM General Insurance Company Inc. at 121 Regent and Oranok Streets to better serve you. You can now purchase your insurance online from the comfort of your home. Telephone 225-1787 or 269-0020. So CARICOM General Insurance Company Inc. So I know a lot of people have been knocking on the doors, according to what Raj is saying, to come on with our program. They want to partner. I don't think we've really advertised it as yet, but a lot of people have been calling and so how could they get on? But we're so busy, wanted to share what Wake Up Guyana is. And it's not for you to wake up in the afternoon. That's laziness. What we want to do is wake up your soul. Start smelling the coffee. Start understanding your rights. Start complaining. Start getting the authorities to understand that whatever it is that they're doing is not good enough. They need to step up the game. They need to deliver. They need to deliver results. We're not going to take any excuses. We're not going to take no for an answer. We want you to go a little more. We want you to go the extra mile. So this is the Wake Up Guyana show, and I'm going to ask Raj straight get us into those lines. We want to hear from our people. 226-7453 or send us those texts to 62222. We have a call on line, Raj. Yes, good afternoon, caller. You on the air? Yes, good afternoon, caller. You on the air?
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir. Go right ahead.
Pertaining to the sergeant of Enmore Police Station, when you go to the command at Kumanjon, you are not getting any satisfaction.
Is this Mr. Anand Prasad?
No, this is someone else.
Someone else. Go right ahead.
Yeah. When you go to the commander, you are not getting any satisfaction. We were trying to reach with the commissioner of police. We didn't get through.
And when you say we, is several residents? How many residents?
It's several residents.
How much residents are we talking about?
Over about 30-something.
30-something?
Yeah, who have been harassed by this present female sergeant. And we're not getting anywhere, and we're trying to seek the invention now of the minister Mr. Ben.
And what's the complaint? Because I'm getting some various things. On one hand, I'm getting conflicting reports. One set of residents is calling and say that this sergeant is going before the time, closing it, and then she's allowing other people to operate. The second set of people call and says one man wants to sell rum after 5 o'clock in the or 6 o'clock in the afternoon. What is the story here?
Is basically she is harassing residents in the area before the curfew time in Enmore.
Is it a warning that she's giving them that look, 5 o'clock is the deadline? I don't
It's
want to
not
see you.
warning. She picking you up and carry you and pack all everybody in a vehicle.
Before 5 o'clock?
Before 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, she's on in the area. We make several complaints all over, and we're seeking now to go to the minister, and we're going in Kaieteur, and we're going on in newscasts for her. We need to. The
I spoke
residents,
to the commander. I called the commander. I think it's Mr. Paisram or somebody.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it was.
it's waste time reaching with him.
Yes, and this is what Mr. Paisram says. I think I could share it because it's non-secret. Gildarie doesn't hide anything. Mr. Paisram says that he did receive. He said these people, based on the report, I'm going to have to call him back now and ask him to see if he could reach with you guys. Did you get a reach with him?
We a few of us went in one by one and reached with him, but we are not getting anywhere. And we are calling on the Commissioner of Police to kindly get this woman removed because she's claiming she got tight contacts with senior authority in the force. So that's why she is here and she can behave in that kind of way.
All right, I'm going to ask maybe Justice Ramlal, who heads I think is the Police Complaints Authority, to maybe look into it and maybe he could see
We
how
went
he
to
could...
him already.
And what did he say?
We went to him already, but we reached with him face to face and he still wants us to write a letter.
No, but if the man asks you to write a letter, if the man is sitting there and the man asks you to write a letter, why y'all don't write a letter?
But how can we write a letter when we are reaching face to face?
No, you need how these people, remember, they have to have records and things like that. If the man's going to take, they create a file on this thing here and they have to prepare a report. It's very done in a very, how you say it, in a very, there is a procedure. There is a procedure how they have to do it. If the man tell you write a letter, I'll write the letter, start something,
Okay.
Do that. So if the Justice Ramlal, I've spoken to him, he is a very serious man. He goes by the books. If the man tell you write the letter and give it to him. And if it's taught something, y'all just sign it and give it to him. That is even better yet. And this is one of the issues. Many persons want to understand the powers that they have if more than one person come together. Instead of just one person, Gildarie, complaining, if 10 of us come together, that's power. That's power, my brother.
Okay.
All right? So do that and keep me posted what's happening here.
Thanks.
God bless. Bye-bye. So, and more in the news again, and the people there are complaining. The people are complaining there again about the sergeant. There are 2 and 3 sides to every story. On one hand, the people are saying that she's flexing or she's abusing her powers here at the Enmore outpost, locking up people for the curfew, enforcing the curfew. And I'm going to come back and discuss this in a very short while. On the other hand, the commander in the police force is saying that, look, the lady doing her job, and there's just a couple of people who've been breaking the laws. I've been receiving calls from both sides. I don't know what to think. I could only present the story as it is. 2 and 3 sides to every story. So what I just advise the gentleman there, Police Complaints Authority, and let the judge is the right one to make the decision. And when he renders the decision, I presume there's going to be some recommendations made, because if the villagers 30 or 40 of them are saying, I believe you're abusing the authority, then it has to go somewhere. So this seems to be a situation that is 2 or 3 sides to every story again. I don't know what it is. And put your signatures onto those letters there. And if 30 or 40 of you can do that, I think it's going to get some traction. So I hope that this would at least put something. But this COVID-19, let me say it very, very clearly, it's not going to go away for just in a very short while. We have according, speaking to a young man who was in Giftland, yes, he had to rush in to buy something very quickly, wear my mask and everything. And this young man that owns one of his stores there was telling me that based on what he's seeing, Guyana is going to continue facing this. The rest of the world is going to be grappling with this COVID-19 pandemic. Our entire way of life has changed. So it means that you have to gear yourselves up to live with COVID-19 as part of our lives. If we are washing our hands and because we're scared, let that be for the rest of your life, that you have to wash your hands to protect yourself. If it is that we have to wear a mask, that we have to, take a piece of cloth, tie it around your face, or whatever it is that you afford, just make sure that you do that. It has to become part of your life. It's not for you. If you don't want to do it for you, do it for your children. Do it for your old parents, for the senior citizens who might very well be very vulnerable to this virus. If you have underlying conditions, diabetes, heart problem, breathing problem, respiratory problem, whatever it is that you have, and it's going to be made worse by COVID-19, by testing positive, well, then you have some issues there. So make sure that you do that. We have a responsibility to the people of this country. Yesterday alone, in Region 4, more than 100 cases. They're saying the results came back and says more than 100 persons more would have been tested positive. And we know that there's more than 100, this is about 10% of the prison population tested positive. Are we serious? Are we serious that we have people partying? I understand there was a big line by a gas station on the east coast of Demerara, the police going all over the place, and this is the thing that gets me angry. There seems not to be an even-handed right in the east coast Demerara, while people complaining in one village that you're closing them down, and another village, not too far from the vigilance police station, that you have a entire party at the gas station going on, and it goes into the wee hours of the night or in the mornings, and nobody's doing anything. And so we put ourselves out and think, and these same people got to go home, and they have little kids, and they have the family, they have the wives, and they got to be sleeping next to them. You got to be intermingling, interacting with those people, and nobody cares. And you look at America here. Let me read back those figures for you in case you don't know. 200,000 deaths in the United States alone. Those are the figures. The United States have 6.8 million cases, positive cases of COVID-19. Across the world, there's 31 million cases, and we have 961,000 deaths alone. 961,000 deaths alone. We're going to be touching 1 million deaths with COVID-19 maybe in a short while. And these are things that, that you pray for and hope that it does not touch our Guyanese people. But you you look at the news, and so very often you hear some heartbreaking stories there, and our people not paying attention. We going the extra mile. It's as if we're in a suicide mission, not to do anything. In the meantime, our country continues to be under lockdown. People want to leave this country. I want to go on a vacation. You want to go on a vacation if you could afford it. But we need to go somewhere. We need to jump on a plane to maybe go somewhere. I haven't seen my family for the longest while. I'm not saying Gildarie, but I'm just talking generally. And we're not able to do that because the longer that we've seen this, America is dropping some of the figures. The Australia and a couple of places successful in because they were able to literally close down the place and said you're not to be there. You have the army here. We have the army. There's several thousands of people. Why can't there be joint services, patrols? No, I know it's very difficult. It's a very hard decision that we have to make to basically have a lockdown in this place. But guess what? What's the alternative? Do we want this thing to run into next year or maybe the year after that because we're not paying attention, because we are being very cavalier with our attitude? Or do we have to, let's do what we have to do and see the numbers rise and continue in the same vein? We have to make some very hard choices here. So I understand what the government is thinking about. How do you not open businesses when people are suffering and they want jobs and things like that? But if you want a job and you're going to go out there, put yourself in harm's way, kill your family, kill yourself, and then at the end of the day, we don't have, we are going to remain in lockdown, it seems, for a very long time. So it is the story that we've been grappling with. So we go right back into the calls there. Raj, good afternoon, caller, you on the air. Good afternoon, caller, you on the air. I think we would have lost that. In the meantime, while we get the calls, and Raj is going to interrupt me when he's ready there. Very, very good. Okay. Lots of messages coming through from parents. Good afternoon. I tired calling GWI. We have water problem in Timiri. I'm not even getting water from my standpipe. So, Parfait Harmony and Timiri. I'm going to send this Parfait Harmony, Timiri. One is poor water quality, and the other one ain't getting water. So this is going to the Minister, Colin Crowell, in a very short while. Let them look at it. Or Susan Rodriguez, Minister Susan Rodriguez. A good day to you two ministers. I hope that you're working hard. I know you guys are locked in Parliament at the moment, which is temporarily being held at the Artichoke Convention Center there. We're hoping that you guys get this over with, this emergency budget over with and done this week, so we can move on to other things. The people need to meet with you guys, or the people need to, raise these issues. Let me see, September, okay. Hang on bars late into the night and early into the morning. I can't understand this. The police is suffering from a major problem. If many police stations, they complaining that they don't have vehicles to drive. So this is another priority that we'd have to work with. You have to find vehicles for policemen. Most of them, when you call and say they come in, can't blame the policemen. If they don't have vehicles, they could do that. There's even some policemen who would tell you that they have the personal vehicle that they have to drive to go to scenes. That's how bad we got it. But we find money to pay millions of dollars to contractors for them to do their thing. That is nonsense that has to stop. Have to stop it right now. And we have to hold these people accountable. We have to shame some politicians too whenever they do that. In the past, you have to name and shame them. When you do that, and you pay it to our people. We are going to be playing an ad at 2 o'clock, I understand. So at 2 o'clock, that's going to happen. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch those dials. It's a Wake Up Guyana show on right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5 FM. And the 99.5 FM, it's up in Berbice, and 99.1, it's Demerara and Essequibo. I want to say good day to the minibus driver, the taxi driver, and of course to the hire cars. How you guys doing? Stay safe. Wear your mask. Make sure that you observe the COVID-19 measures. It's there for a reason. It's not there because they want inconvenience. So there's a reason for that. The wheels of progress must turn, but it must be done within these rules, and we have to live with it. It's going to bring you less income, but at the end of the day, if you don't do it, we are gonna be living like this. Mr. Gildarie, good afternoon. You're concerned, but the people out there cares for themselves, and no one, and especially the bar owners, have the patrons at the bar. They close the door after 6 because the police are their friends. Excuse me. And this is something that these are stories that we hear all the time. So I want to say good day to everybody who's been joining us locally and internationally, who've been joining this program here online. I want to say good day to Karen Smith, Mala Samaru, Gomadevi Prasad, Bibi Shabir Hussein, as always, Pam Singh. How you guys doing? Nanda Prasad, Aaron JJ, and of course Blackie Singh, and Geeta Prasad, and Barkley, Terence Ramlal. Susan DeSantos, Omadevi, thing. Let me see if I'm missing anyone there. And I go on. There's many of them that's on there. So if I miss you guys, forgive me. Chandra Narayan, Jai Prasad. A good day to you. So I think it is that very quickly we have to play an ad right now. And so we're going to be right back into the swing of things, start taking our calls again. Go right ahead, Raj.
Win $100,000 monthly with Sleepy Sanitary Pads. Sleepy Sanitary Pads are all natural and are made with cotton and bamboo fibers. It is dye and lotion free, hence no irritations or rashes. Sleepy Sanitary Pads are available in 2 sizes, ultra thin and thick. It is affordable and available nationwide. See press for details. Visit our Sleepy South America Facebook page or call us on 233-2473.
Yes, so we're back with you. We're back with you right now on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5. Are we with the volumes up? Sorry about that. Yes, we're back with you on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5. I'm a little off today. There's so many things that is happening in a very short while. There is going to be, or it's ongoing at the moment right now. The Minister of Education is releasing the Grade 6 exam results, and I know that not a lot of nervous kids here. Don't be nervous. You guys got to be, just move with it. It's a phase in your life, children. I wish you the best of luck. Parents, do not kill your kid or put pressure on them or be angry. Encourage your kids, hug them up and say, "Baby, I know that you did your very, very well. There's always a next time. There's always an opportunity for you to raise the level, to raise the bar." So let us show some love. Let us show some love to our kids and other kids too, because not everybody is going to do the same. It is a fact of life that is going to be many persons who are not going to do so well. It's not the end of the world, because we have need for mechanics, we have need for so many other things, and those people make more money than the office people on a given day. So so it is at the end of the day. At the end of the day, let us continue to encourage our people in Guyana here. So Raj is telling me, I think eventually I'd have to get Raj to just do these things by himself. He wants me to read ads. Why is it that I'm reading ads? I'm a reader person, Raj. Well, why is it? You need to have the microphone. You need to talk to the people. I'm here to talk to the people, to ask them what is bothering them today and things. And you want me to read an ad. But it's what pays the bills, folks. And so let's go right here. There's another caller online. Yes, good day, caller. You in the air?
Good afternoon.
How you doing? Go right ahead, man.
I'm good, Leonard. How are you?
Pretty good here. What's
Good.
happening?
I've been trying to get you. Know what? I'm going to tell you, these and more people, they're complaining, but that is the right woman over there at the station for them. They want to drink rum and dance up and sport up and all the thing, and they don't think about the sickness. This is something very serious, and I don't know.
What is it that you see in the area and more? What's happened? Because, like I said, there's 2 and 3 sides to every story. What is it that you see?
They're here now. They want keyboard day, and they want dance up and sport up and get big gathering. And that is not right. So you see, when the police go to them now, the police bad, right?
Right.
Good.
So this is everybody. Everybody has an issue with this this police officer, this police sergeant.
But Leonard, they're doing wrong things. They're doing wrong things.
No, I understand about how many persons. My question, I asked the wrong question there. How many is it? A lot of persons who have? I was just told about something person. They has the issue with the sergeant.
I don't know.
But what you know is that they open. They want to open late.
And they're doing wrong things, Leonard. They're doing wrong things. Think about ourselves, our family. And the people surround us. God, man, they don't realize what is this virus.
I hear you, Mrs.
Oh my God.
All right, I can have a chat with them here.
Yes. So that is the right lady for them.
I thank you very much for that, ma'am. So let's have a chat here now. This is something that is very, very important. And I know we have many other things to discuss that is just as important as that. But the thing is, I just told you there about having this country on a lockdown. We have to live in a COVID-19 pandemic situation with all the measures for another couple months. How fast we get out of this situation depends on what we do as a nation. It's not the government alone. The government is finding monies or struggling to find monies for so many other things. Because, yes, we could argue that the monies would have been wasted. The problem is you need to find money to deal with COVID-19. You need to give families help. You need to give them some kind of assistance, whether it's a hamper, cash assistance, and so on. At the end of the day, the more longer that we remain in this situation, is the longer that the more monies that we'll have to find to assist the people. Is either that or we see big crimes in this country because people who are going to starve are going to find some way of getting it. And if you have it, and they believe that they could get it from you to feed their children, they are going to come to you. It's a fact of life that I'm speaking to you. This is not something. So down to the people up in Enmore now. There's 2 and 3 sides to every story. The magistrate would tell you there's 4 sides, or it's my side, it's that person's side, and it's your side, and then there's a truth. So I'm not sure. At the end of the day, what is important is that there's 5 o'clock. There's a deadline. In fact, this irked me when I go in home. I mean, 1, 2 afternoon, I managed to get away a little early because I have some other things that I have to do. And you go in down and you see all the supermarkets closed, all the big supermarkets here. You cannot. It's inconceivable that you every night I go home on the on the East Bank Road. You have shops. Well, it's not shops. It's nightclubs that has women in it, and you know what goes on there. And the vehicles are parked up in front, and I think police vehicles pass up and down, and surely they understand what is happening in there. So what the buyers do, they got smart, or they think they're smart. They close the door, and the patrons are inside, and everybody, whatever it is, whether they're playing pools, whatever it is that they're playing with, or whatever it is that they're doing, they're drinking some beers or so on. They're having a good time inside, and they're mingling. So we back to square one again. And the police know exactly, because they're up and down every single day, exactly it is who are breaking this law. You just pick up yourself, go with the car to these places here, and you see how fast some people are going to get charged. You can see how fast we could raise money. You start getting the regulations or whatever, and you start putting fines of $50, $60, $70,000. Every time you appear in court and you plead guilty, that's what you're going to be charged with. If you come to court and you decide to plead not guilty, your bail is going to be $60,000. And I mean, there's going to be a lot of angry people there because you got to make your money. The life goes on. You have a bar, you got to run it. It has to make money. It's there for that. But if the rule is that, do you believe you could go to the United States or any other country and decide you want to open that? I remember that one person, I think in the United States, I think they had, I think right in New York, a Guyanese owned bar, and the people were being let in through the side doors and so on. And somebody found out, and they went, and that person is about to lose, or they have already lost the license. But when these guys come, they decide to put the fines on you. The fines are going to be so much that you, another person is not going to dare think that you're going to do that. I could remember I have an uncle on the other side of the family, and he decided that one day he wasn't drinking for a long time. He was in New York, and he went over to that place. He decided to take a couple, and he decided to feel so tired. He parked in the road, but he was parked in such a way disrupting the free flow of traffic. So the cops came, and they decided to. He says, "Man, I'm sleeping." They said, "Why you sleeping there? Were you drinking?" And they decided to administer the test to him. In any case, his fines was so much money, for thousands of dollars, and then he was forced to go to counseling. He's not going to contemplate doing that again. And I hope that you catch my drift there. So, and more, there's a 5 o'clock thing, and yes, I understand what you guys are coming with, that, people want to drink in the afternoon. Sell them the beers. You don't need to keep them there. Sell them the beers, sell them the rum, and tell them to get home. Go home. Do not be on the road. The law is the law is the law, and it's very, very simple as that. So let us get our act together. Let us do what is the correct thing so we could save the rest of the people in this country. Do not be selfish. Do not do anything with regards to breaking the law. And I know those folks in the Enmore there, I did say to you to put your signature to that letter and hand it in to the police complaints authority there, because maybe there's something, maybe she is indeed abusing her authority. I'm not saying that. Some residents are saying that she's doing her job. They're giving her kudos. Did receive several calls on that. Then there's some others, business people, who are saying that she's abusing her authority. It is an issue that needs to be dealt with at the authorities level there. And let the judge make his decision. The police complaints authority, William Ramlal is there, a former judge, and he's sitting there as the head. You could complain about what the police is doing or not doing, and he's going to investigate it, and we're going to take it there. If 30 residents go in there and say that this woman has done bad, or if it's just 2 residents, and then they might have issues because some good residents and then more, or some other residents are saying this woman is doing her job. So let's see where this goes. In the meantime, let me read some text very quickly to you. And Louisa Row, a lot of Venezuelans gathered there as well, causing it impossible for the elderly to sleep. So there's Louisa Row, and of course the hangout bars into the Ben Street working Ross. Ben Street work in Russell, Weiser Row, lots of Venezuela there. People can't sleep, so people are listening. A good day, whoever it is that is sending us that, a good day to you. Mr. Goldie, I don't know how these people find different names. One time is Goldie, another one is Gilbacker, another one is what? Professor. Mr. Goldie, good afternoon. I'm from Blackbush, Yakasari, and I went to Ivy Curie Hospital to pull a tooth. I was told only emergency today. It's the same at the Port Morant Hospital too. So I want to know, what is emergency but tooth pain? Sorry I spelled your name wrong. Please forgive me. Yes, you're forgiven. It's okay, man. I don't take that. I have very thick skin and we can do that. But if you have a toothache and you go to the hospital, is that emergency, Raj? Raj says no. It is emergency. You go to the hospital, you want to have it stopped. But it's an injection. They said no. You want it extracted or something. Well, they would make a decision whether it's safe to extract it because you could be able to probably save the tooth. But here it is that it says it's not probably emergency at the moment. It's only for emergency. So I'm here. My jaw is swollen. I can't eat for 3 days. I think that's emergency. It's an interesting case. I don't know what to say to you there, but I'm gonna have to find out. I'm gonna ask Dr. Vishnu Mahadio, who's probably up in that area there. What's happening there? So probably tell you guys back about that. Mr. Gildarie, good afternoon again. Parfait, I mean, you don't have any curfew. The police don't chase the people from the road. The Four Corner, I know Four Corner well. I had a house in there and I moved out. Having a party there. This is a Four Corner area. When the night come, you're in your house and here, the Bacchanal and the police station not far away. What's happening to the police station down in Parfait Harmony there? We having some complaints about you guys. You guys are not doing anything. What are you doing there? Are you just going, picking up your vehicle, just drive around and just do two things? If you're hearing loud music, then you should be coming out of the station. I should be walking up the road. As a policeman, what is happening here? It's right next door to you. You have to do that. So this is not good enough. I'm calling you out. Parfait Harmony Police Station, 2 sides to every story. You need to have your say. People are saying you're not doing your job. Hi, good afternoon. I'm texting you to say that the police. Today is a police station day. People complaining with the police. Good afternoon. Just texting you to say that BV Police Station need a lot of pulling up because I have a problem where my brother wife selling rum and she opened up. Y'all forgive me. Let me read this one back. Good afternoon. Just texting you to say that the BV Police Station need a lot of pulling up because I have a problem where my brother wife selling rum and she opened up a rum shop at my father's place without a license. But every time the police go, she pay and get off. And every time I call the GRA, never get an answer and the bar is still open. I'm sick with this. What's going on? Yes, it is indeed. When you have the authorities and the authorities are not working, the regulatory bodies, they're not working around the place there. So this is in a BV area, and the police station taking bribes. You go to a place and somebody give them, maybe, I'm not sure, how does it work? Do you give them some rum or do you give them money? I'm not sure what happens there, but this should not be. I'm ashamed when I see things like this or even to read it. To even process it in my mind is not good. Good afternoon. I'm from Region 2, where the cab drivers taking double fare, passengers from the people. This is so expensive for struggling people. There's an issue that we've been talking about. I did raise it with the authorities, and the police did say that they're going to look into it. But the police can't really force if you're going into the man carrier, man tell you that. But there's a fare structure as well. And so if you're the cab drivers, if you're the high car drivers, if you're the taxis, the minibus people, if you were listening to us there from the Region 2, this is the Essequibo Coast area there. I want to say good day to you, but it's not good what I'm hearing. You guys are overcharging people. You got to stop that. People's salaries haven't been raised. They're now going through a pandemic. We got to see eye to eye. You know, we got to make sure that we do this thing in a very thing. It can't be double fare, man. If you're going to charge something more, you say, look, be our thing. So we're going to charge you a little more. I'm not sure even if this is legal because you can't force the drivers. If the driver tell you it is $1,000 from here to Campbellville, and then another driver charge you $700. I mean, there's a prerogative there. But I can't see the high car driver just, just unilaterally decide they're going to raise the bills here. And they're going to, it's not good. And so let's see what we have here. Good afternoon, Leonard. I'm the person who called you on Friday afternoon. I asked you to call me back. I have 3 children. I have an accident since 2016. I did not work. I received a disability of $13,000. Tough. Since July, I did not receive any money from NIS. Can you help me? My NIS number is so, so, so. Okay, I'm going to send this right away. Select all. Sure. This is very, very sad. You guys just bear with me because sometimes there's so many texts that we receive here on a daily basis. Raj, we need a secretary. We need somebody who could assist me, It's too much, it's too much. I think a lot of people are really suffering in Guyana here, and it's not a good thing. And so this person said, I'm going to say to you, ma'am, or yes, whoever this person is, I'm going to send this right away to NIS, to the lady, Miss Baxter. She was supposed to come on, and she did indicate to me this person live at NIG. And so I'm going to send this to them right away and let them get cracking on it. I'm not sure. NIS, if I'm finding it, I'm going to get very upset now. If I'm finding it, they need to get somebody, and the need, look, NIS is a big issue. If NIS cannot come onto the radio program or send some kind of, any persons or provide a phone number or something, we're going to have to put lash on them because at the end of the day, the people complaining about them. NIS is a big thing for a lot of people. They've been paying the tax, their dues every single month. They need to make themselves available to the people of Guyana. So I am going to send this to the folks over there and let them see how they could look at it. In the meantime, let us see some other ones very quickly here. Okay, somebody sent me a tailored offer. Good morning to you guys. This is just as an information. There's a money scam going on in the Pomeroon River. Please warn those persons for me. We need some more details. I'm not sure what kind of money scam, but if you guys are being asked to put in $21,000, I saw something with $21,000. A lady was talking about a box hand. It's something like a box. Put in $21,000, and she said she made $160,000. A box, you don't make that. Is you just keep raising it. Every week is somebody else's turn to take the money, and so if somebody drop out eventually, I'm not sure how that happened. You would do that among people that you trust. I grew up here in my box hand, but when you see the lady do a video on it on Facebook, and she says, I put in 21,000, I have 116 or whatever, $60,000. Oh my God, I'm living in the wrong world. Because, I'm not sure people understand about this entire thing. If something is too good to be true, do not believe it. Let's be smart. If the government is doing something to you, ask questions. Read the newspaper. Read Kaieteur newspaper. You're going to see some awakening as to something. To wake up and smell the coffee. This is a Wake Up Guyana show. I'm your host, Leonard Gildarie. You're tuned in on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5. You could also get us on Kaieteur Radio Facebook or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. I think that's quite a mouthful. Let me see. Good afternoon. I'm enjoying your music. I think this Jackie. I think that was early in the day, right? I missed that. Okay, let's go back. A male relative of mine is going through emotional and psychological abuse. I'm really worried about his mental health. Please, I need some advice or I could get help. He's denying it, but the evidence is there. Yes, this is a very good question here. The Ministry of Human Services. This is the one on Lamaha Street next door to the lotto company there. They have several services that's available there that could give some kind of advice. Maybe you need to take him to a pastor, a pandit, a mulvi, whoever it is there. Take them to that person, or you could have the person come home. I remember sometimes my pastor or the priest would invite themselves over when I was growing up. When I got licks at time, the people would go around. It's not, I think it's part of the Hindu religion or something. They would go around beating the tassel. And they would ask for help, and they would dress, I think, I can't remember who it was, and I got caught today. I was dancing. I don't know how to dance, but I was doing this load dancing because I thought it was a funny thing, because my neighbors were watching the boys, and my stepdad caught me, and my mom, and they got very upset. They said, "You're mocking the religions," and I got licks for it. So, at the end of the day, you could get these people here to come and maybe talk to that person, but you need professional help. Ministry of Human Services is where you might want to ask for help. Do we have another caller in line? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You're in the air. Go right ahead.
Hello?
Hi.
What is Kaieteur News?
Yes, it is Kaieteur Radio. You're on air. Go right ahead.
Yeah.
Hello? 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 Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Go right ahead.
Yes, Mr. Gildarie.
Yes.
This is Anand Prasad of Enmore.
Yes, sir.
Speaking here that the matter of some people, I know I can't vex some people calling and give their opinion.
Yes.
But when some people are making some reference, we need good investigation into this matter of Miss Sardina. I get to understand that we went to the commander, Mr. Parshram, when he said that is her staff. Well, then I say, well, if you allow your staff to take advantage and certain advantage are being taken, you call it bullying. Right? The point remains that Ms. Sardin now do none sort of investigation probably. Blood I'm here running to you because you get pick point with calls. Me the one who faced the penalty and the problem, and this thing about rum shop and illegal business and all these stuff are happening tremendously all over part in the country. And the same word that you say that yes, GRA or whoever now come the authority them in such a way to fix the need of the people them, that is truth. They are not doing the work in the right manner. Right? So the police aside with the other side of the people who don't have license, who don't, and then get the biggest sports activities and business in this place. Not only in this place, I'm talking throughout in Guyana. But Ms. Sardin are overuse our privilege. You is an officer, yes. You is our sergeant. Plus I'm a council also. I will not sit inside a council seat and make sure that our people are being abused by the police. We have citizens inside here who are being traumatized. Many people are being scared to come out and clean and tar because of the way of this lady acting. Right? The way how she acting like, I will say, only when somebody gets paid, then you find this kind of result. Cannot use the police force to get to people private way out or victimize them.
All right. Well, I did indicate to the people that called a little earlier that I indicate that there is, and I believe that the Police Complaints Authority has what we call a mediation kind of measure that could go on there. Meaning, and I think you understand what I'm talking about, that they could bring all the parties together, sit them down in one room and have the trash. You're not to leave this room. You guys are not to leave this room until we have this thing fixed today. So there's some other, I think even the mediation, I think at the Supreme Court, I think in the High Court, there's some areas there that you can bring all the parties and look, this thing here needs to be fixed. I need to have a living. But you cannot come to me at 4 o'clock and say that I must close my business when it's 5 o'clock. So there's ways that we could fix this problem.
You know something, sir? Some people are just, you call it the supreme. The supreme, some people just want to protect the staff, as I understand here. You cannot protect your staff when they do something wrongful to people. You are being trained as to be professional, as police, right? And when you use this traumatization, then, this is not all. You know what it does? Don't use a neighbor side of you. For let the neighbor make trouble with you and all kind of nonsense like this.
Do you think the police would come? Wait. So the police calling up somebody, or the people that calling up somebody and make trouble?
Some police and some people, like when you report matter to a different location, they will put people for call. Crank call, you call that. And then, make them better when some people call a crank call, said, no, Ari, I do this certain things, and which is not true. The police run down queue. This is totally bad. Let me tell you something. I am 53 years born and go in and more. I never see a miracle like this. All the days, let me say something. The police and one special person in and more here traumatized me, totally traumatized. From children to parents to me to grandparents. That is what. Because they have money, whoever have money, take iPads from the rest of people. I'm talking for me alone. I'm talking for every single body. Every single rich, poor, or whoever, police is professional. They have to act professional.
Here we're going to happen, because I don't want this situation to continue. I'm going to ask, this is a situation that's been brewing, and I see my boy WRE step into the studio, and I ain't able to get beat up today. So what we can do, here what I can do, I can call Mr. Ramlal, Today.
I went there, sir.
No, I can call Mr. Ramlal because there's a mediation service that would have to bring all the parties because they got to be common grounds, man. It cannot be that
Exactly.
there has to be
Common
common
grounds
grounds.
inside the
So here
system
what
and
I'm going to
keep siding
do,
with it.
I'm going to make sure y'all make contact with them, and I know that
I
a lot of people
appreciate
from
that.
Enmore,
I appreciate what you're doing.
and I'm going to ask him to do that. I don't want the situation to continue.
Appreciate every single thing.
Yes, sir, and I thank you
Right.
very much, and let's see where it goes from
Thank
there,
you.
all right? God bless you. W.I. Riaz, how you doing? How's the cricket going?
I'm going to all right. Cricket is going. Lots of excitement.
I saw a
IPL.
wonderful thing by, I think it was this guy yesterday that was batting for the Deccan Chargers.
That game went to
yeah,
a
super over. Right.
Yeah, that was quite early for a super over for the tournament. You know, that was only the second game, but it's all good. Been a busy weekend.
Yes, well, let's see what happens here.
Been a busy weekend. I've seen footage of some robberies. I've seen.
Let me hear about some of the robberies. I saw one this morning that somebody sent that the person was beaten and likely robbed this morning. I'm trying to get some details on it. But the person was beaten so badly that the person might be left paralyzed.
My goodness, I didn't get that piece of info.
There's another one up the East Coast, I hear in Nomprel or somewhere.
Correct.
What happened there?
Well, I've just saw a friend that I was just leaving on. My mom was showing the footage, and I hit my friend up, and he was just telling me it was a video that was shared in the upper East Coast, actually, inside a supermarket. We saw footage arising of 3 youngsters just what it allegedly looks like if it's a handgun, right on the roadways, and stick up a guy with his normal haversack.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. The guy's walking.
Probably heading to work, or I'm not sure where he was going. But so simple. We heard of a few accidents. I've heard of an accident at the Lamaha and Camp. Yeah, Lamaha and Camp. So a couple of things, but we have to be a little bit more vigilant on the outsides as it is. And it seems that Ponzi schemes is the going thing in Guyana.
Explain to me, because I thought this Ponzi scheme. You mean there's another one happening?
Well, I heard of. I've got a couple of persons sent me some inbox links of some happening in Berbice. But this is a smaller scale something. So this is.
Let me address this right here and now. Right here and now. If a man come to you, the banks offer you about, I think, how much is it? 2% now? 3%? 3%. That's the most the bank is going to offer you. If you got to borrow money from the bank, I think it's about 13, 14%. That's what you pay back in interest. There's very little business in Guyana that is going to offer you 50, 60, 40, 50, 60%. Let me tell you why. Because if they're offering you that, they're making 100%. And if they could make 100%, I think Bill Gates, them, and the rest of the folks might be very interested to know what kind of business. These people are going to pour billions of dollars. If you're listening up in Berbice there, do not take your money and give it to these people. Call Gildarie and call WRE.
Don't do it.
Call
man.
Raj.
Don't do it.
Call Glenn Lal. Call Glenn Lal. You want me to give you his number?
I heard it's an alleged $5,000, and you'll get back $32,000 in 2 to 3 days. Reports coming out is that a lot of persons did it when they go for their what is supposed to be $32,000, which I think you guys should not waste $5,000 doing that as it is. They were told that you have to bring 2 more persons on, and then it went from there. I was made to understand that a report was made at the New Amsterdam police station, the commander out there. As to more info, complaints were taken to the commander and other officials, but I didn't get more details.
I'm going to ask my reporter thing, but let me say it. Let me say it very
don't
clear.
get involved in these.
Yeah. Anything that is too good to be true or songs too good to be true, it's not true. And if you want to hear some lecture, call Glenn Lal. He's going to tell it to you. His number is 624-6456. He says, give it away.
He said, give it away.
Yeah, he said, give it away. So, Mr. Lal, I'm doing what you say. I like to go according, I follow rules. I'm a very straight-up guy. So I'm telling you that the number is 624-6456. Call Glenn Lal, and he's going to tell you how to invest your money. Take your money. One of the best way to earn money is to get a job.
Get a job.
Get a job and
Best
work hard
way.
like me. We don't
Yeah.
sleep in the nights, you know. You know me, the people don't sleep in the
No,
night.
we
go
don't.
there till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. The
Mhm.
best way to earn some money very quickly, get a job. If you can't get a job, wait until you get one. Don't take your hard-earned money or your pension money, the little. And not everybody got money in the bank. Those that got it, you know how hard you work for it. Don't take it and give it to somebody.
Well,
If you want to give it to somebody, give it away to the poor people of Guyana.
What did I lost somewhere along in the line? Because I get somebody all the way in New York.
Yeah.
Here they tell me, did you know that Gildarie was a paid Harry Bowl dancer back in the days? Am I lost? Did I miss something?
No, I was telling them just now that
I had to miss a piece somewhere.
I think
along
it's the
line.
Harry Bowl people was coming
Oh,
around,
my
right? I think it's the Harry
goodness.
Bowl, right? And so they were on the road beating the drums, and they were, going
So
to
he's
house
a hard worker from small. Big ups to Savvy. Savvy out in New York. Good afternoon to you.
Okay. Hi, Leonard. My light bill normal come about $8,000 a month now, and this month my light bill amount to $13,800. I'm not sure what it is that you guys are getting there, but let us see. I have to read. I have to break it right now. Better value for better protection. Get your ship and cargo covered with us today. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. at 121 Regent and Arnock Street. To better serve you, you can now purchase your insurance online from the comfort of your home. Telephone 225-1787 or 269-0020. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. I think you guys got to pay me for these advertisements now or whatever.
Well, I see in everybody are currently voted for Leonard as a dancer back in the days. I see somebody as Gina. Good afternoon. So Leonard was a dancer back in the
No, I got licked with. I don't know
Yeah.
what is it. I got licked with. That's just what you're mocking these people. Come, and I remember all the time. Whenever I see them, I go into the back of the yard. I don't want to dance anymore. that was very funny. But
So there are a couple of things, and again, pleading on everyone to be safe on those roadways because we did had a few accidents. The good thing about it's that it wasn't a lot. Also, police are investigating alleged robbery on the arms committed somewhere on a guy Harvendra Holas, taxi driver, Beehive Road, that's East Coast. That occurred over the weekend, if my sources were correct on that. So there are a couple of things that we may not, been highlighting or persons are not aware that is happening behind maybe getting the necessary publicity. So persons need to be careful. Person need to be careful out there. As it is. And police are still investigating that serious accident that occurred Sunday. This was the accident I was talking about, Carifesta Avenue, involving a motor car. And that's at Carifesta somewhere. It hit a fence. It hit a fence. Carifesta Avenue, involving a motor car, driven by the name. I'm not going to call the name of the driver as yet on this. Okay, good. The Police Officers Training Center.
Oh, that's by
Yes.
Queen's College here.
Right, by Queen's College.
By YMCA.
Carifesta and Camp. Somewhere just by YMCA, right? Correct.
Right.
Correct. So drivers need to be careful. I'm always like a broken record, on that issue. You need to be careful on our roadways at the end of the day.
Right, and this is somebody is sending us a text here. This is true about the BV police station. There are no people who thief people cattle and kill them on the seawall and they do nothing, but they can't do protect yourself. So yes, there's a couple of people here who
and RN has just confirmed, and we are aware that a Guyanese who is residing in the U.S., DJ Frontline, died of an accident as well in Queens. According to the info that I've got earlier from the guys out from Abbey Tunes, is that DJ Frontline, popular DJ out in the Queens area. You see, this is where, and I wanted to get this info to bring it as an example on persons. So the guy DJ Frontline, Harry, is better known as DJ Frontline in the Queens area.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that person.
Tremendous outpour of love. He was really a simple, down-to-earth, genuine guy. He was loved by so much in the industry when it comes to entertainment. Now, hear how this accident occurred. He was riding his motorbike, and a car jumped the light at 120. and I'll get the exact address. Jump, not, there wasn't a light, jump a stoplight. Jump a stoplight. The car did that.
Wow.
So he didn't stop, and the car, and here comes DJ Frontline, slammed the car as it is. This occurred, which area is this again? Which area is this? I had the addresses somewhere. I seem to misplace it altogether. But that is what occurred over the weekend out in Queens. 120 and Leffers, yeah, somewhere right around there.
I think I know that area there, yes.
Right? So the car did not adhere to the stop sign.
Yes, and those roads, especially if you're going in the south, the ozone area,
and that's
very easy.
And tragedy struck. I understand that nothing happened to the car or any other person, but DJ Frontline, sad to say, 120 and Linden, someone is just telling me, he jumped a stop sign. Yes, okay, so I thought it was Leffers. I'm now getting a confirmation from Savi, who lives in that area as well. So it's 120 and Linden. All right, thanks as it is. I had Leffers. My apologies. So the car driver, I understand, did not stop at the stop sign. He continued, and Frontline slammed him, died. No one else was injured, but very sad. The guy was probably about 41, 42.
Wow.
Very sad. Very sad altogether.
Do we have another call to the air? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You on the air. Go right ahead.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? You on the air. Go right ahead, sir.
Yeah, Gildarie?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, man. No trade talk long with you, boy.
Oh, God. Yes,
and
I
then
know.
You bring Mr. Riyadh there, you talk more.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, anyhow, this old age pension increase. I see they got that in the budget. But
it's going to be paid from January.
Officer was there to find out.
It's not NIS. This is not NIS. This has nothing to do with
what
NIS.
To the NIS increase?
Well, they haven't spoken about that. In fact, somebody, man, like I'm tired. I don't know what else to do with this NIS. This NIS is a problem.
If the old age get, why we couldn't get?
Because the NIS is an independently managed fund that they take contributions from the people that are working.
Right, but we just get it every year, you know.
I know, but they have some problems right now with NIS because the number of persons, like the self-employed and so on, they're seeing dropping numbers of those persons contributing. So it's either you have less self-employed people now, or the people just not paying. And you know what happened this year, so they're going to have a very horrendous year. I think NIS is going to run into some serious trouble, more trouble than they already. While they have money right now for the long-term viability of it, they have issues here.
Okay, next thing. You talk about this old age and NIS will drop, from 65 to 60. And the NIS will drop to 55. But we're not getting no feedback of nothing.
It's something that I know that they would have been thinking about, but we have issues with that. Because obviously the minute that they start doing that, what you have happening is a whole bunch of more money that NIS would have to find. But it is something I would love to see too. Obviously, I'm heading into 15 maybe in a couple of years, definitely. Riaz, in a couple of years too. A couple of years too, Riaz.
I'm not getting involved in that.
What happened?
Bringing me 50
Here's the next thing is, I got 4 daughters. And here you're talking about this tablets and laptop and things.
Yeah, we working to get some donations.
I don't know. How would they be able to get that?
Well, we'd have to do, because there's a thing that bothering me whole weekend. Who do you, if Riaz or Raj got kids and they ask and they call Gildarie and say, man, we really need it. How do I really determine that
and
these people
let us
really...
just keep in mind, because I've got a couple of messages from individuals over
Yeah,
the weekend,
it is.
all of which I said Gildarie
We'd have to
really
come up with
distributing. But just also another thing that need to be noted is that given whenever we do, we don't have any, whenever we do, is that internet is not on these devices. So that individual need to ensure that they have access to internet at the same time too.
You get your phone, right? But this laptop and so we're talking about things, I get for them children. All them go in school.
Well, somebody did say this morning here that they have some laptops that they probably have over there.
I hear you talk about that.
So we're going to think, and I did talk to a couple of business people this weekend, so we have some commitments already there. So I might have to very well go and just get what we have to do, and just as we get the money, or as we get the commitments, let them just buy it and send it in, and we can figure out how to reach it. And we're going to have to keep it as an ongoing something. because it's
Yeah.
obvious. I
Yeah,
mean,
we
we
gotta
can.
get
I'm not going to
information.
depend on government to do
We
anything.
gotta get information how it goes here.
Yeah, it is a nightmare that I know that I've been bothering, I've been mulling it in my mind the entire weekend, but we're gonna figure it out some way or the other.
Yeah, good. Here the next thing is Mr. Jill, the Prime Minister, Minister Jill.
Yes, Minister of
He
Edil.
kept on top of his voice in the budget. People gotta get this, people gotta get that, people gotta get this 25,000 or whatever. You're talking so much about this thing. You can't let talk every day about this thing and they put money in sharing.
No,
You
I
gotta
think I
wait.
think no. But the budget hasn't passed as yet. They can't. It's illegal to give out money if you don't have it in the budget. So I think they have to go through it by law. You cannot spend the money until you have it. It's been passed through the National Assembly. That's the law. So they have to go through it whether we like it or not. I want this thing to finish tomorrow morning so the people's lives can continue. It's
Yeah,
holding
just-
up projects
people
and
just
so on.
talking about it.
Right, it is. So let's see what happens. I thank you very much for that, my brother.
All right.
God bless you. So in the meantime here, let me get you some thing. So good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. My father lost his ID last year, so to get his INS pension book, he needs ID card. He is registered for a new ID card during the household registration last year during the election. Apparently, he's been visiting GCOM for the last 6 months for them to issue his ID card, but they kept telling him they're not working. My dad has not collected his pension for the year. This is sad, and I can't understand. GCOM office in the area there. Do we call Kit Lowenfield? Is he working? I'm not sure. I'm going to try to get on to.
I have no comment on that.
Look, you know what? I'm going to try to get on select all copy. I'm going to ask.
Glad that they were probably not the.
I'm going to ask the chairperson for GCOM to see whether she can intervene in it. I know that I really want to burden her with something like this, but it's not trivial for some people, you know.
Yes,
These are very, very important things, and you know, this is why this show is here, the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio, so you could be able to raise these issues, whatever little ways, or we could advise you.
The Wake Up Guyana earlier, since I wasn't here earlier, was mentioning anything about the 20,000 birth certificates? Or you're
yes.
still still working on relevant information? Because this is fresh news, you know.
No, I did talk about it.
It's very fresh and interesting news.
What you heard about it? Because I heard something.
I've only got the bits and sketchy pieces out of it, of which I was promised by a few friends who were doing some investigative journalism, but they didn't get back to me in time, or they didn't get back to me as yet. I guess they're still investigating, but it is an interesting. It's an interesting disclosure.
Man, this man is two things. Let me cut to the chase. Gildarie gonna beat around the bush. The people have ordered 150,000 applications for birth certificate forms. They used to print it in Guyana all the time. This thing went to Florida, and I understand that this thing probably didn't go through the procurement thing. It's 15 million. It's how much money? I think it's
150.
150. That's $30 million. $35 million.
How about if I read the post from the Honorable Minister? I'll tell you the Honorable Minister when I finish reading the post. Imagine catering to lose the elections by 20,000 votes. So you order 20,000 birth certificates, but end up losing the elections by 25,000 votes instead. That's the post 2 hours ago by the Honorable Minister Charles Ramson.
And you asking me to comment on that? I have no comment.
No.
Just kidding.
No. I am just saying what I am reading. And there are lots of others. I would like to see the Honorable Minister Nigel Darmlal to make a post on this, because he's always very outspoken. He's the flamboyant minister of his daily posts at Parliament.
Who's this, Nigel Darmlal?
Yes, I would wait to see his post on this.
No,
Because
but-
he's
but,
always a very outspoken guy. But this is a great. It sounds like if we're making it a fun moment, but this is a great concern.
No, let me tell you this,
Right?
and I
It's a
did
great
speak
concern.
about this a little earlier, Mr. Riaz. We did talk about the spending of our money and making sure that we get value for our dollars, and there are very strict procurement laws. In fact, we went so far ahead that we set up what you call a public procurement commission. Is it functioning? And then here the issue that you have. Every ministry, whenever you tender for a project, It goes to the tender board if it's above a certain amount. And I think every ministry and agencies and RDCs would have their like tender board.
Correct.
So the
Correct.
ministries, when you go to the tender board in Georgetown now, that has above, I think, $15 million or $20 million and above, they would look at it there. So guess who's sitting on that evaluating committee? The ministry's office or the agency office. So you understand the hanky-panky. So the minister could probably tell that person there, because many times they don't even meet. What they do, this person decide you're going to get it based on the criteria, and they could strike you out using any kind of criteria.
This is why His Excellency President Ali make mention about the oil industry of taking away powers from the minister, which he says that he don't want that to happen. And they've been talking, himself and the Vice President, Dr. Jagdi, have been talking very much on that. So, these are things that we need to hold the government accountable for. We've seen only at the press conference a couple of days ago when Secretary of State Pompeo was here, he was talking about it. Right? So these are, once you're hearing over and over, he's already saying that, we will be taking away the dominant powers from the minister so that we could have a much more transparent management of the oil sector. And of course, to all my fellow Guyanese, you need to read a little bit more about the oil industry.
Stop right there, buddy. Let me say a news thing here that breaking here.
What happened
Larry
now?
London heads inactive Florida company paid to print birth certificate. Is this the Minister of Parks? Sorry, my apologies.
Director.
No, let me go back there. I didn't deliberately do that. Riaz has me very confused. It's the Director of Parks. I don't know what the heck that is. It's somebody who looks after
Parks.
Curbs and markets and things like that.
Yeah.
Any case, this person, but you have an inactive company. By the way, before you all get anything, my wife is involved with some business, and maybe it's going to come out sometime or the other. And whenever they come out, it has all the things that are above board and everything. So I don't get involved with that. But if you decide you want to throw shades or whatever it is, attack Gildarie in it, I have a right as a citizen to put in to bid for any contract, or the family has a right to do that as long as they go through the necessary hoops and so on. So you have to, if you're bidding for government contracts, there's a couple of things you have to get. You have to get your NIS compliance. You have to get your GRA compliance. You have to have a business registration or a company incorporated documents. And of course, you have to be registered as probably a government supplier or as a contractor in the system. You have to go through all of that. So when you see here a company has been given a contract, whether you're overseas or locally, you have to be active. You cannot have an inactive company. So this is extremely, and especially if you're talking here about $150,000 US. This is $35 million. And this is a guy that is not probably, I'm not sure this gentleman here is a contractor for government. So something is wrong there. So did you ever get a contract from government, Riaz?
I did work for the government.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's above board, right?
So I wouldn't go through it like a contract in that direction. No, to procure a contract for that in that direction. No.
No, but this is, I mean, some of the things, and I'm looking here at the front page and seeing that, we're given any Tom, Dick, and Harry that comes along contracts, whether you're a lawyer. Oh, you look good. Can I give you $10 million to represent me? What about the other man that might probably, you have to shortlist these people. So I don't know. So it is a Wake Up Guyana show. This is the host, Leonard Gildarie, and I have with me W.R. Riaz in our studio here at Kaieteur Radio, 24 Saffron Street in Georgetown here. I want to say good day to all who have joined us and to wherever you are today. Stay safe, wear your mask, do not do anything. There's a curfew in place. Make sure that you protect yourself and make sure that you're home before that. If you're an essential worker, you have an excuse, but do not dally on the road. Do not go drink in a bar. Do not go do anything that is going to put your family and your loved ones in danger. So we go right back to the calls. Do we have another call there, Raj? Good afternoon, caller, you in the air.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon. You're on the radio.
Good afternoon. I'm calling again. Once I called, but it was like a few weeks ago. So I'm calling back again because I'm stuck here in Guyana since December, and I'm a citizen. And the problem is, I get a flight now from Caribbean Airlines and we're supposed to go on the 1st of October.
Yeah.
So now the border in Trinidad closed. And that they said, I called them a few minutes ago, and they said they have to wait on Guyana government to give them the okay, so Caribbean Airlines could come and fly from Georgetown to Pearson Airport. That's in Toronto. And I'm on that flight, but now they said...
No, but I don't understand. You're going to Pearson or you're going to Trinidad?
No, it's a Trinidad plane. Caribbean.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, let me tell you what we learned very, very quickly there.
Yeah.
The government, I think you have to liaise with the Canadian High Commission. That's one. And the GCAA, because those are the ones. She's going to Canada.
Yeah, but Mr. Gildarie, the thing is, I already got my print out, and my flight is BW600 from Georgetown, 10:20 a.m. and reaching Toronto 7:20 p.m. On the 1st of October. And I already have everything. And now this morning they said, okay, call back in a week's time so that we have to know about this COVID.
Well, you don't have to call. If they're sending you a ticket, it means that they give the okay already. I don't understand that at all.
No, what the guy was telling me, they had the okay. Now...
Well, things change in this situation of COVID, and I mean, you have to understand that. But, you know, there are other ways of getting to Canada other than Caribbean Airlines.
No,
but she must be already. You pay already?
I understand that, but I already booked this
And you're here since when?
Since December.
Man, you could have gone long before this, long before now.
Yeah, but if I go there, the COVID was more rapid than Guyana.
Oh, I see.
Well, you wait out the time. Well, Auntie, you can't fight the system here now. You got to wait a little bit more. That's my best advice. Because in these situations, like Guyana and Trinidad are rising numbers at the moment. So a decision from the government of Trinidad to close their airport, we in Guyana don't have a say.
And did they open it there? You know, I think they had opened it.
I understand. So if that do comes out, there's little that could be done. You'll just have to follow with Caribbean Airlines and follow up with the civil aviation in Guyana to get a little bit more information on that.
But I'm just asking if they could please help us out. Let me go back to Canada because we ain't getting no help here. My medication finished.
Yeah, it's a lot of people complaining about that, and
nobody here is supporting us, and we getting our little pension.
Let me tell you, it is.
What we gonna do here? We just come and spend our 3 months from the snow, and now look what happened, and nobody is helping us.
Well, Mom, are you a Canadian or Guyanese?
I'm a Guyanese, but I'm a Canadian citizen, senior citizen.
Did you ever reach out? Did you ever reach
years of age, brother.
Okay, hold on. So you have dual citizenship? I'm just asking that as a good Guyanese.
Mom, did you reach out to the Canadian authorities?
Yes, we did, and they said, okay, there's a long list, so we have to wait.
Well,
and until that WestJet comes. But the WestJet, we have to get a new ticket, and I'm telling you honestly, I don't have that money here.
Yeah, there's not much. I don't have much more information.
I'm going to try to find out from the GCAA, but what I knew is that that they are talking to the Caribbean Airlines and a couple of the other airplane companies to see how they could get these flights out. But they can't just put them just like that. There's a procedure they got to go through.
Because I know there are flights going to Canada at the moment, but it's a very expensive flight, about almost $800 a ticket.
No, my brother, it's 927 Canadian dollars.
Ticket prices go up
that
every
is my
day.
pension. I don't have any more money there.
I understand. Ticket prices go up every day.
It's
the
a
ticket
problem.
prices go up. This is like about a week or more than a
No,
week back.
this
I
flight
heard it was like $780.
No, this flight went on Thursday. And that is the fare.
All right, well, let's hope that you could.
And I don't have, because I already come with Caribbean Airlines, and my ticket is there, a return flight, and everything was going good. Now they said it's the Guyana government. Oh my God, why they don't allow us to get out? Because they ain't giving us nothing.
We don't got nothing for give you.
I mean, I don't get nothing to give you. No, you guys fighting for oil money.
Stay safe, Auntie. Tell the Canadian family to send you a little raise. That's the best we could tell you.
Sorry, my brother. I don't have children over there. I don't have nobody over there. My husband passed away. And I normally come back here and spend my 3 months, then I go back because the life there, and then you're getting your little pension and your medication is free.
Right.
You understand where I'm coming from. And I only have one son here in Guyana, and he working with Gaisuku, and he at West Coast. And for the past few weeks, they put down tools.
Oh my!
Because
Yeah, I
of the
hear you.
estate condition. So it's all wrong bad, but if I could get to go back, I won't mind. That's
I can
the
try to
problem.
see and talk to them and see what's happening.
Yes,
But
because
they
it's
did
not.
issue a statement, and I know that the civil aviation is looking into
Yeah.
this matter. They issued a statement over the weekend.
Please, I'm begging you, because not me alone. My
Uh,
cousin, her husband is in a wheelchair, and he doesn't have medication also.
right.
And all of us come together. We just always come and spend the winter here.
All right, ma'am. Thank you very much.
You're
God bless.
welcome.
Bye bye.
Have a nice
Yeah.
day. Bye.
So so the Riaz is so many families who fallen through the crack and so on. There's so many stories that are coming out from.
I mean, I understand the woman's ply and
Yeah.
everything, but there are certain things that just can't be broken, and then there are certain things that you have to follow certain protocol and certain lines. It's traveling; it's not the same, and you're not the only one that's been affected. I understand her cry. I totally do. But it is a tough situation that we're in at the moment. Because, hands are tied in certain situations. You just have to make the best out of it.
All right, and so thank you very much. And so, unfortunately, again, it is time to say goodbye. It's a wrap. And it is the Wake Up Guyana show. I'm the host, Leonard Gildarie. And so, if you would have missed the show, you could relook at it on Facebook, on Kaieteur Radio on Facebook, or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. We would have been coming to you on 99.1 FM or 99.5 if you want us on Burbies. I want to say good day to all who have joined us, wherever you've joined us from, and I hope that you remain safe, stay safe, do what is necessary to protect yourself. There's so much things. We need you on board. We need all hands on board to rebuild this country, to take it where it so very rightfully deserves, at the top of the entire Caribbean here. We believe that's where the place belongs. We have too much stuff here. We have so many resources. We just need good management. We need strong people. We need disciplined people. So I want to say thank you for joining us, and we are going to be back same place, same time. Until then, I'm your host, Leonard Gildarie, and this has been your edition of the Wake Up Guyana show.